Hello everyone, I have to apologize for this lousy intro. Something happened during capture with my camera and for some reason it captured like 10 minutes of blank nothingness. There's no audio, no video, it's just a blue screen for 10 minutes until I stopped recording and started recording again. For the next clip it picked up, but yeah, it gave me no errors, so I don't know what happened. But I'm gonna try to make up for it. So what we're gonna be doing here today is we're going to be making the mask and the knives that the main character in the anime series Darker Than Black has. For the knives, I'm going to be using foam board, which you can buy basically anywhere, any like Walmart, a Meijer. I don't know if Kroger might have them. They're really cheap. They're about $1.50 a piece. And for the mask, I went to Halloween Express and bought just a plain silver mask. There's no defining features on it. I got this one because there are no defining features on it and you can build it to be anything you want. So, without further ado, here we go. Let's get on with it. First, what I'm going to do is take a pencil and something to kind of use as a straight edge and make sure my eyes on this thing are even. I've already measured the distance from the outside to the center. Both sides marked the center and then divided the eyes up. Now I just have to get a straight line across. So that looks pretty good right there and right there. Yeah. The mouth on this mask actually spans. It's actually straight across. When you look at it one direction, he's smiling. The other direction, he's frowning. So we are going to draw the mouth across there. Just up there. Don't worry about drawing on this thing because you will be able to paint over anything you write on it. So yeah, that's about right. Need to make it straight. And these eyes are kind of slanted. Here's a little rough kind of sketch. I've got a picture pulled up on the computer of this mask, so I can get it as close to the real thing as possible. Now what I'm going to do now is I take that and I make a stencil out of it, so it's my old trusty x-acto knife. And there's our cutout for our eye. That one's already marked. So we will just need to flip it. And again, we're going to have to center our mask here, look at it, make sure we get our points lined up. Needs to be right there. About right there. And stenciling is easy. You just draw inside the circle. It does not have to be perfect. You can refine it later. This mask is also going to be cut out to match my jawline. So those eyes are a little close together. Okay, there we go. There's our rough sketch for the mask. Of course, it'll be cut out along the pencil line there on the jaw. The eyes will be cut out. Everything has to be painted in. And then, yeah, should be cool. So, now what I have to do is start cleaning up these sketches a little bit. I'm just using a regular number 2 pencil. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't need. Now I did pick up a Reeves acrylic paint kit a few weeks ago. It's got pretty much every color you're going to need for doing small projects like this, and not anything major, and a complete set of brushes which has every brush you're going to need to do anything like this also. And these are both fairly inexpensive. I think this was like $6, I think, maybe, and these were like $3. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to use to paint. I'm going to get some warm water in a cup so I can wash the brushes off and not ruin them, and probably a cup of coffee for me, and then I'll be back. I'm back, and I've got my refreshments. I need to quit staring at the screen. I'm worried if I'm in frame or not, and I need to stop worrying about it because I already framed it before I ever started recording. So I need to look at you. You are the important one. What I'm going to start off with first is I'm going to try to do the mouth. And I'm just going to paint over the pencil and then fill in any white that I happen to screw up on. So let's get started. I'm going to use a crimson red because why not? I need a palette. I need something to use as a palette, a paint palette. It can't be anything that's going to soak up paint, or it kind of defeats the purpose. So I will just use this plastic board here. So I think it's about time to replace my razor blade. There, paint palette done. I don't want to use this because I'm actually going to use this. I have to make, this character also has 2 knives. Here they are. I have to make those 2 knives. I'm not going to do those real fancy. I will put it in this video, but they're not going to be fancy. They're just going to be cut out and painted to look like the knives in the cartoon. They're not actually going to be, shaped. The blades aren't going to be like angled to a point or anything like that. I'm not going to even bother with that much detail on it. All right, so back to whatever I was doing here. We'll put a little tiny bit out because I don't want to use it too much, because then I might waste my paint. And as you can see, they're a very small tube. I don't want to waste it. I don't know if that's an Italian or if it's a vampire. I'm going to switch to a very fine-tipped white brush, and we are going to start painting. You just have to be, I put my pinky there as a guide. And I'm just going to paint right to the corner. Now this, if you do happen to go a little out or it's not perfectly even, that's actually fine, because this is going to be outlined with a fairly thick black outline around everything. That's the way the mask is in the anime, so that's the way I'm going to do it on here. So I'm going to continue painting this mouth, and then I'll come back to show you the finer details. Now for the lightning bolt that's going down his face, it's not exactly a purple, but it's not exactly a blue either. So I'm kind of just trying to blend these to try to get as close as I can to the actual color. And that's pretty close right there. That's actually looks pretty good on the actual color. But yeah, let's paint it. We got our rough part done. Lightning bolt is painted, the mouth is painted. Now I have to go and I'll touch up the white, get rid of all the lines. Let's get to cutting out the eyeballs, because I like it so far and I know it's going to work, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut the eyes out. Before I do, I'm going to switch the blade on this thing. Get the brand new blade. New blade on. Let's see how tough this is going to be to cut. Yeah, not too bad.
Thicker than it looks.
Key to this is make sure you stay on your lines. Holy crap. And it kind of goes without saying, but don't slip. So score your line and slowly work your way in. Alright, one eye cut out. Oh yeah. Gobby's out.
So there it is with the eyes cut out. Of course, I still have to put the shaded parts, excuse me, underneath.
I think it's working pretty well. Now I've got my white out, and I am going to get rid of all the pencil marks and bad splotch areas on this thing using the white paint. Okay, it turns out touch-up's not going to work, so I'm just going to have to paint this thing. And I really wish I had a smoother brush. Which if I have to, I'll spray paint this thing again. And, oh, that's yellow. Do that. But we'll see how this turns out when it dries and see if I can smooth out the brush strokes. This is one of the good things about paint. If you mess up, you can always start over without ruining whatever you're working on. I'm not too happy with these brush strokes. If I can't get that to clear up, I may have a problem. Oh, don't drop it. Looks like I might just have exactly enough white paint to finish this. If the brush strokes are going to be visible, I'm going to have them all going the same direction. I'm going to switch to a finer brush and fill in around the edges. And we got to let this dry, and I'm just going to take a Sharpie to do the outlines on it because paint brushes will flare and things of that nature, so I don't want to end up accidentally getting a huge black line where there shouldn't be a huge black line. You know, that black line needs to be perfectly smooth. This brush here kind of does away with the brush strokes. I kind of thought these little soft bristles would. These big, nasty, deep brush strokes. Crap, just paint over my red. Oh well, like I said, it's a great thing about paint. You get it on something, you just paint right over it again. Yeah, I actually cleaned it up nice. Awesome. My hands are shaking. Should not have drank the coffee before trying to do fine detail. I painted over the corner of the mouth here, so I'm going to have to go back with the red and do that before I can outline it with the black. Just say it's a good thing this thing's got to be outlined. I got to get in the corner. How's this going to work? Let me get some more paint on my brush. Just like that. Alright, there we go. I did another layer of white over it. Did some touch-ups, fixed the mouth where I painted over it. Now I have to let this dry and then I'll do the outline on it. While the mask is drying, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the knives. And we're going to start off making one. We're going to see how that turns out before I go to the other one. I don't have a drawing of it done yet, so I'm about to go do the drawing and then I'll be right back. Okay, just made a little rough sketch of the knife. I'm going to make two of those. Let's begin. First thing I'm going to do, which is what I do with every one of them. I left my pencil over there. First thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to use this foam board for it, is we got to draw the knife. Okay. These knives are not small weapons from what I can tell. Just kind of use my hand for a model to judge how big I want to make the handle. The blade should then be a little bit longer than the handle. I think that's pretty good. So we'll make the blades that long. There we go. Alright. Right, I need a ruler. Okay. I'm gonna make a simple line. This is gonna be our baseline so that the knife itself is square. It's not crooked. Yeah, so okay, there we go. Starting with our handle, which is gonna be here. Or the guard, I should say. We're going to make the handle probably 1 1/4, which would be 5/8 on each side. We got 5/8 for the handle. Connect the dots. Moving on, we're going to go out about 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.5 inches will work. And this is going to be where our blades are are going to be and where our guard is going to stop, which according to the picture of the knife from the anime, the guard and the blades come out exactly the same length. And there's actually a finger hole in the middle of the guard. So I'm going to do that. Coming together. So far we've got that. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of this and we'll come back. Okay, rough sketch of the first knife is done. That's what we are dealing with. It'll be a cool knife. I'm going to clean this up a little bit more and then I'm going to cut it out, and this is going to be my template for making them. Because they have to be layered. The handle has to be thicker than the blades and yaggity smaggity. So, template done. I gotta make some. Alright, I got all my pieces cut out. I'm only going to do one knife because I don't have to go all out for this outfit. Got the main blade, got the two handle pieces. When they're pieced together like so and attached, you have a nice three-dimensional knife. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. So yeah, let's get to assembling and painting, and that'll be done. And we'll get back to the mask. So I've got it put together, super glued, because that just is the way to do it. And now I'm painting, and this knife is pretty much solid black, so I'm just gonna sit here and paint every bit of it black. I might wrap part of the handle in electric tape just to give it a wrapped kind of look to it, but I think it's gonna add a little more depth to this piece if it is. So we'll see how it looks when I get done, and then I'll make a decision. Okay, done with the first section of the knife. Well, gotta paint the bottom, but that's no big deal. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I will do the blade edge. And while this dries now, I'm going to switch back to the mask and outline the details. It should be nice and dry by now, and ready to go. Our mask is nice and dry, so I'm going to start outlining with the Sharpie. Cross your fingers I don't screw up, because I'll have to repaint and wait to dry again. So here goes nothing. And always remember, it does not hurt at all to take your time. The minute you try to rush it is the minute you screw. I got super glue on me. Can't let go of stuff. Check it out. It's sticking to me. Where does super glue come from? Dang it. Oh well. Back to this. One line down. Yeah, that's perfect. It helps not only to focus on where you are, but also where you're going. And that is true in life as well. So kids, remember that. Alright. That one's outlined. Turtle. Alright, mouth time. Very gently now, start in the corner. I hate this stuff. This is nerve-wracking. I need to be down here. So yeah, there we go. Almost a finished product. Next is placing our little glass pieces, which I got paint on. All we need to do is glue these to the inside. You know what? I am going to outline the eyes. Help define them a little more. I think this will help not only to define the eyes, but also kind of cover the little rough cut edges. Oh yeah, much better. Check that out. Much better.
Alright, so there we have it. The finished product. It's been trimmed to match the one from the show. Has the lenses put in to make the eyes dark. And there it is on. I think it's going to work pretty good. Right, let's get on the knife. Our knife is pretty much dry. It's dry enough to where I can continue working on it. So we're going to go ahead and line the blades with gray. I'm just going to use gray because I don't have a silver, so just going to have to deal with it. Alright everybody, here we go. The finished knife. Whoosh. I'm not going to put my finger in the hole because the paint in there is probably still wet. I will show you a shot of the entire outfit completed, and on me, poof! Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope you will try to make your own costumes, and good luck. Just remember that if you don't get it right or if you mess up, that's okay, because you can always do it again. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're having a good week, and I will talk to you later on. As you can clearly see, there was a huge difference between having the Steadicam and not.